I don't know, actually, but I think we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very first live show. I'm so excited.
Hi.
Kaylin, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, friends. My name's Kaylin, and I am one of Lexi's best friends. She's one of my best friends, and we decided to do this book club together, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, my channel is Kaylin Abridge, if you haven't been there before.
Yes, you should totally check her out. She is amazing. And I'm Lexi. Welcome to my channel. And then also we are joined by our moderator, our dear friend Soleil. So Soleil is going to be commenting in the comments. We highly suggest that you check out her channel if you like aesthetic vlogs and bullet journal and read with me videos. Like, she's just the best, and we love her so much. So she'll be there in the comments, like answering questions and all that other stuff. So while we wait for everyone to filter in, we thought it'd be kind of fun to like ask a question and see what you guys think. So the question is, what bookish character do you relate to the most and why? This can be in a book or in a movie. Do you have yours yet, Kaylin?
If it's a movie, then I do have my answer. Okay, so Lexi knows this, a bunch of people know this, but I've always related to Elsa. I'm actually, personality-wise, I'm actually a mix of Elsa and Anna, because I'm not like super closed off like Elsa, but I also am like more reserved than Anna. So those are probably the ones that I relate to as far as like a movie goes. I will say though that I really related to Sophie a lot in HOWL'S Moving Castle. I felt like I had a lot of similarities to her as well. So if I were to pick a book, I'd probably pick that.
When she is in like a grandma and she's complaining about people, I was like, girl, you are me.
So I see, and I relate more to like the young one who like kind of gets taken advantage of.
Yes, I'm secretly an old woman, so that's why. Yeah. But I could totally see you as Elsa. First of all, I feel like you look like her personally, but also you do remind me a lot of like a good combination of Elsa and Anna.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. Miss Honey. Miss Honey is who I want to be in life. And I was thinking about this and like, think about it. You know how you really like cottagecore aesthetics, Kaylin? That's her. She lives in a cottage with lots of like wildflowers and stuff. And I was like, that is my dream. And she's always in overalls and like, girl, same. And then what else? Maybe that's it, but that's enough.
Yeah, and her style really does like translate to today. Like I feel like so many people would look at her and be like, oh my gosh, I want to be her. Like she's a teacher too, so I feel like we both can relate to that part of her as well.
I totally agree. Okay, so we've got let's see, Blue. I could so see
that. Yeah, 100%.
I can too. And then we've got, let's see, Sophie as well. Yeah.
Oh, yay.
But do you relate, Rebecca, to her as an old woman or as a young woman? Because we've got two teams going on. I'm old woman team.
I mean, I feel like I'm going to be like her when I'm an old woman, but.
I'm her now. Okay, Jade said that. Let's see here. And then, let me see. I first thought, Rory Gilmore! That is a really good one. And you have just started watching the Gilmore Girls for the first time ever, right, Kaylin?
Yep.
I love her. I love Rory Gilmore. And then we've got Hermione. There we go, Hermione. Hermione's always a classic.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and then it says old woman all the way. I totally agree.
She's sassy, man. I love her.
Yeah, I love her too. Okay, so let's see here. I guess, do you want to get into the let's say what's coming up. Okay, so what is our July book pick?
I don't have it with me. I bought it, but it hasn't come in. But yes. We are going to be reading Tuck Everlasting, which I think we're both really excited about. I haven't read this since I was in like middle school, so I barely remember it, but I remember adoring it. And it's about, what's her name? What's the main character's name?
Winnie. Winnie Foster.
Winnie. Oh, like my dog.
Yeah, I know.
So it's about Winnie, and she stumbles across a mysterious pool where there's this young, beautiful man waiting there.
Love that.
And so she discovers that it's a pool that will give her eternal life.
Yeah. And I'm just so excited about it too.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm extra excited about? The Slumber Party. We are doing a slumber party, and I could not be more thrilled. Seriously. So I'm going to try to read this during that, but you don't have to do that, like, if you don't want to. But that is going to be July 17th at midnight until July 18th at midnight. And we're going to have so much fun. We're going to do Instagram lives. We're going to do like a virtual ice cream party. We might do some baking. But if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Oh my gosh, there are so many good so many good bookish people. I really want to get all of them. Okay. Let me see. Okay, cool. And then August is gonna be, I don't have the right book. Oh, but you do. Do you have the book with you? Okay. So August is gonna be The School of Good and Evil, and we're so excited. This one is about Agatha and Sophie, who are best friends. And they both get kidnapped and taken to the School of Good and Evil. But Sophie wants to be a princess, but she is sent to the wrong school. And so we kind of see like the fallout from that. And I read it a while ago and I loved it. So hopefully everyone will like it. But it is also super lengthy. So you might want to get like a little bit of a head start. How many pages was it again? Like 500?
Yeah, it's like 488. So really close to 500. So yeah, it is more of a lengthy book. It's definitely the longest book we have so far. So yeah. But I think usually middle grades, even that are 500 pages, you can get through pretty quickly. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay, so let's talk non-spoiler. Do you want me to do you want me to say what this is about? Like a quick brief synopsis? Do you want me to do that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So if you haven't read the book, never fear, you can stay. I'll just tell you super quick what it's about. Howl's Moving Castle is about a hot wizard named Howl and an amazing person named Sophie, who is a hat maker. And we love that for her because she's very fashionable. And she gets turned into an old woman, which same. And then basically it's their adventures together. Yeah, so that is my horrible synopsis. But thank you, Caitlin. Super quick. What was your star rating for it?
So I think it's going to be like, I just finished it earlier today. So I usually take a few days to like have a solid rating, but it's definitely like 4.5, but like leaning towards a 5, but 4.5, I would say, as of now.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think I want to give it a 5-star, but a 4.5. A 4.5 is a really good rating, so maybe I'll change mine throughout this time together.
Yeah. Well, I think if for me, I always like to go in between so that I'm like, okay, if I think about it for a long time, then I'll bump it up. But yeah, a lot of 5 stars. Well, there's 4 stars.
4 stars. Let's give it 4 stars. Let's see here. Oh, this one. So really quick, it says, what is the closest recommendation you have that is pretty close to The Girl Who Drank the Moon? That's a really good question. So The Girl Who Drank the Moon, we both read that. That is, so we've got, that one's a really complex one too. I don't know if there's anything like it, to be honest. But I'll think about it.
Yeah, the thing that I like about that book in particular is it's just one, like it's not a series. And I think it's hard to find a book that is that good. That's just one. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that book in particular is so complex and good. Also, hello, Jade, and hello, Gavin. Oh my gosh, really quick. If you guys like middle grade, please check out their middle grade monthly. You know what? I will refresh the description afterwards and I will link all of their information as well. They do an amazing job and they are some of our best friends. So please go check them out because they are amazing. Okay, cool. So keeping it spoiler free just for a second, who is your favorite character? Can we do that spoiler free?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, mine's pretty obvious. So the reason that I love Sophie so much is because I can relate to her on who I've always been. Like, I've always been a closed off person and been very shy about telling people my feelings and let people walk all over me and stuff like that. So I can relate to her in that way because I've always kind of been like that. But as I grow up and as I get older and learn how to say no more, I like grow more towards liking her as an old woman, which is why I love her like transformation so much, is because I feel like it's super relatable for me as a person. Also obviously Howl, because who doesn't?
I absolutely love Howl so much. Is he my favorite? He is. Yes, I've just decided.
Yeah.
The decision is Howl. And the reason I like Howl, well, I like him for a lot of reasons, but I like him because the way he shows affection is kind of by teasing someone. Like, okay, no spoilers, but okay, never mind. I can't say that because it's spoilers. I just really, really, really like Howl, basically.
Yeah, I do too. I like how too he was like in a middle grade book. He was a boy or a man, I guess, who was like kind of a player. And I was like, I've never seen this in a middle grade, but like I think a lot of girls that's their type. A lot of people, that's their type.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we love it. And also, so many people are saying Calcifer.
Yeah.
I freaking loved Calcifer.
I do too.
So funny. Like, didn't you? I mean, towards the end, I was kind of like wavering between who is my favorite, Howl or Calcifer, because Calcifer is, I don't know. I just like his sass. I don't know. Right? Yeah. He was pretty great. Okay. This is a really hard question. Do you like the book better or the movie better?
I think personally I liked the book better. I don't know, like we were sort of talking about this, but I love how much more in depth it is. Like I don't know. I think that the movie kind of like jumps a little bit and it feels very much like, wait, what's going on? Wait, what's happening now? And so after watching it a few times, you're like, oh my gosh, yes. Also, I totally agree that the movie Calcifer, I personally liked better as well. Like the voice actor, I don't remember his name, but I think he did like such a good job for Calcifer.
Was it Billy Crystal? I don't know why I know that. That is an old person move. I told you I'm old Sophie, because how else would I know that? But I think his name is that's a horrible question. I'm so sorry. It is hard though, because the movie.
Yeah.
But Kaylin, I completely agree with what you were saying. Like, so this is really random, but after finishing the book, I realized that the movie, while I absolutely love the movie, actually had like some plot holes. Did you notice that? Yeah.
I totally agree. But it's beautiful. It's like, it's hard not to love the movie, especially I think if you read the book. I think they just go hand in hand so well. Like, they're the best of both worlds, because you can have this like beautiful imagery from the movie kind of like shining through in the book as well.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I am a person who like will go to things when I'm really sad, and I always watch that movie when I'm really, really sad, mostly for the food scenes.
Yeah.
Miyazaki really does the food really, really well. Let's see here.
Yeah. Even like I think all of Studio Ghibli movies you can just like put on and you're just going to be like, like smiling the whole time.
I totally agree. And I really like, Gavin, I really like what you said here, that you can appreciate that we both have both to escape. And I totally agree. I really feel like you can, and also sometimes you're in the right, like, I guess mind frame just to watch a comforting movie. So yeah. Okay, let's see. And then we've got both are beautiful. I agree. I think that the book had a little bit of depth. And then, oops, here.
Yeah, I totally agree, Jade.
Yes. Okay. Ami, I totally agree, though. That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
And talk about that a little bit more in the spoiler section. I don't know. Can we go into the spoiler section now? Is that okay?
I think so. I mean, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about
the 15 minutes.
So, you guys, I have notes. I literally have notes here because I am a type A personality, so I'm sorry. But okay, so really quick, what was your favorite moment? This isn't too spoilery, but like I want to know, do you have a favorite moment? Because I definitely did, and it was towards the end, which is why I put it here.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe you go first, because maybe it's mine too.
Is it? Okay. So my favorite moment was when Sophie is at the very end, she's like killing weeds. She's really pissed off and she's like, I hate Howl. I absolutely hate, like, blah, blah, blah. And she kind of realizes towards the end that she has slowly been like falling in love with Howl. And it's that moment where she's so pissed off that she's like, damn it, I really like Howl. And I was like, girl, we are literally twins. Because
Yeah.
yeah. And
I love her.
I feel like that is one thing that this book does so well is the love. I don't actually have a problem with like what is it called? Love at first sight, like, you know, insta love. That a lot of people don't like that. But I just feel like Diana Wynne Jones did not do that. Like she built their love story so meticulously that like you kind of, it's like they like fall in love with small details rather than things, which is how it is in real life. Like
totally.
I loved it.
Yeah. I think that like you said, I don't have a problem with that sort of trope at all, but it can be done really wrong and it can be done really right. And even though the characters haven't like known each other so long, you get to see them growing to like each other more. And one thing that I just love is how Howl sees Sophie for who she is.
Yes.
It's like the most heartwarming thing ever.
I know. Oh my gosh, what is this? I'm like ready to party with Hal. I'm so excited. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Thank you for doing it with me. It's like a true. But yeah, I totally agree. Let me see here. Ooh, okay. Liv says so many plot holes with the love story. That is such a good point. Okay, so what are the plot holes that you guys saw with the love story then? Because I didn't see any, but I would like to talk about it.
I think maybe in the movie I saw some, but
in the movie, yeah.
But yeah, not as much in the book.
I agree. So specifically with the movie, I saw this analysis after watching and reading it. And they were talking on the analysis about how like the movie doesn't make as much sense because Miyazaki, like he wanted to focus on war and like why we should be anti-war, which I think is a great theme. But it doesn't make sense at the end with, I don't remember her name. Who was the older woman in the movie? She's Howl's older teacher, right? Was it Mrs. Pentiment? There are so many characters.
Yeah, there is.
So in the movie, it seems almost like she was calling wizards and witches there to take their magic because, you know, she took the Witch of the Waste magic there. That's kind of why I thought she wanted Howl. But then at the very end, once Howl had his happy ending, she was like, we can call up the war. And it's like, I don't
know. Yeah, that was very weird. Like there was a few of those points where it's just like all of a sudden it was like, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I agree. So that was kind of odd. But I did feel like it was actually handled pretty well in the book. I don't know. I really liked it. I also personally felt like, oh wait, do you have your favorite moment yet?
I mean, I really like that moment, but I also just I liked the comment that you just had up, how well that Sophie takes being an old lady. Like that was something that really hit me too. And especially when she's just like, she's in Howl's castle and she's just like cleaning stuff. And I'm like, that's just so cool. She takes it so well. Like, I think most people would be like, no, my looks are gone. But she's just an awesome character because she doesn't care. She just like is like, well, we're gonna figure this out. And I love how she also that moment when she first gets to the castle and she's like pretending that she's sleeping so that the little boy, Michael, is that his name? Michael?
Yeah.
To like stop bugging her and like she just falls asleep and I'm like, that's just so pure and cute. I just think she's adorable.
I know, I loved it too. And honestly, didn't you feel like she thrived a little bit more?
Oh my gosh, totally.
Yeah, when she was old, like in the book, there's a part in the book where she is talking to Howl. No, she first meets him, but she doesn't know it's Howl yet. And he's like, can I get you a drink, little mouse? Which is a weird pickup line, first of all.
Kind of cute. I don't know.
Okay, it's kind of cute. If Howl came up to me and called me a mouse, I would take it. But anyone else, I don't know. She's really shy. And she's like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm going to go look for my sister. I think she's looking for, is it Martha? I think it's either Martha.
I can't remember because they mix up at one point.
They do. But she goes in there to talk to her sister, and she totally avoids him. But when she's an old woman, like without even eat, she like puts him in his place, and she's super sassy. And it's like, Sophie, you were meant to be, well, not an old woman, you know, like speak your mind like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think though that's like, for me, was one of the biggest themes of the book was like her like growing into herself and realizing that she's worth so much more than she thought in the beginning.
Yes.
Like in the beginning, she thought that she wasn't worth anything, you know, she couldn't do anything with her life. And so to see her like grow, and I think that was, to me, one of the biggest themes that I got out of the book was her just learning to tell people how it is, learning to know that she has worth.
Yes. Like, you're getting me emotional. Stop. No, I really like that too. I loved it too. Let me see here. Okay.
Yes.
This is so
I love that part.
I totally agree. And I was on the phone to Kaylin actually, and I was like freaking out because I was like, you know how my favorite moment is the eggs? That's in the book. I don't know why, but I was really excited about that because I always want to eat the breakfast. I always like reading about it. I wanted to eat it. And then when I was watching it, I wanted to eat the breakfast.
Me too.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay, cool. So let's see. What didn't you like about the book? Is there anything in particular you didn't like?
It's just so pure.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't
really
it?
Yeah, it's super pure. Gavin, this is such a good point. We're gonna leave this up for a while. But is there anything you didn't like about the book? Anybody?
Yeah, because obviously we rated it pretty high. So like,
I love those words. Same. There's a couple of things that I didn't love, but I'm not sure if it was necessarily a bad thing. The first though is that, did you feel like there was a lot of characters in this book? Because that's one thing that it was really hard for me. I actually was writing down all the characters because I didn't want to come like to the live show and be like, you know that one person? Well, I've already done that, but I didn't want to do that at the live show. So I was like making a list, which I have here. But anyways, I just felt like for a middle grade, it was actually really complex. And you know what it reminded me of kind of was almost like an epic fantasy, but for middle grade, you know?
Especially like you want to make sure that someone that is middle grade can keep track of. I definitely don't think that there should have been as many characters as there was, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Like maybe because we knew Miss Angorian and then Mrs. Fairfax and then Mrs. Pentiment or I keep wanting to say Pentiment, but yeah. Oh, and then Gavin said this, and I've heard this as well. I've heard that like maybe in the future they're a little bit problematic. I didn't see anything in this one, but I have heard that as well, Gavin. Okay, let me see here. Was it the turnip head or scare? Okay, so this one, here's why it's confusing. This was actually pretty confusing and dark. I thought this was dark. So the Witch of the Waste was trying to build her perfect man to rule with, and so she was taking parts of the prince and of Wizard Solomon and like literally building things. And I'm pretty sure that the Scarecrow, was it Wizard Solomon that was under a spell, or was it it was one of them that was under a spell? Was it the prince or the wizard? Do you remember?
I thought it was the prince, but
yeah, it was
maybe not.
It was definitely the prince in the movie, so we're just gonna go with that. And if we're
and that's that, honestly, like that was it was a little confusing too.
Yeah,
because you start to like mix the movie and the book, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. Let me see what this one says. I didn't get why nobody addressed Sophie after being cursed. Hal said he knew when he met her sister. Okay, this is a really good question, and this is a little bit confusing too, so I'm glad you brought it up. So, you know how, like, here's what I think. You know how Hal looked at the Scarecrow and immediately knew that the Scarecrow was under a spell? I think he sensed that from Sophie, which is why, and he said this in the book, that's why he actually sent her to his old teacher, Mrs. Pentiment. I hate that I don't know how to say her name, but Mrs. Pentiment,
I don't know either.
Okay, good. But yeah, that's why. But so I think he knew that she was under a spell. And
Well,
then
because Calcifer knew too.
yeah, Calcifer knew that's and then also Howl said that Calcifer told him. So I think that's how Howl knew. And then somehow Letty's told Michael. And so Michael knew. So it turns out that everyone actually knew this thing about something, which is so funny. But yeah, I thought that was funny. But yeah, I hope that clears up because that was really confusing for me too, actually. Let me see here. Okay. My next point was actually that the plot was a little too complicated. So there we go. That literally was my point, was that you really had to like keep track of everything, because towards the end, it's like we kind of thought that there was going to be a big bad battle between the Witch of the Waste and the Howl. And then that happened. But then there was still this other secret thing to defeat, which was her demon, you know?
Yeah.
So that was a little complicated.
Yeah, and like I said, for a middle grade, like you really do have to make sure that I mean, this is like I would consider more of a classic middle grade, which tend to seem a little more complicated. So that's why usually I give it a little bit of lenience, but I do think that overall, if like middle grades need to be a little bit more simple.
Yeah, I think so. It was like, and I think also we can like criticize certain things, but still say it was like overall like a 5-star, 4-star. So yeah.
And something that I've always really, really believed in is for me personally, when I'm reading a book, my enjoyment and my experience with the book always surpasses everything else. Like if I really enjoyed it, then I'm like, okay, I don't care. Like if there was like certain things that had plot holes or whatever, if I enjoyed it, then it's going to get a higher rating.
I totally agree. I'm like a feeling kind of a person with a book. It can have its flaws, but if it made me cry or like really happy, then
yeah,
I think it's a 5-star for me.
Totally agree.
Okay. What did you like about the book now that we talked about what we didn't like?
I mean, pretty much everything else. Like I adored the characters. Like if there's really good characters, especially characters that you can relate to, it's really hard for me to not enjoy the book. But yeah, what about you?
I really liked, this is a really good point, by the way. I really liked the humor, because normally when you read a middle grade, it's either charming and whimsical, or it's funny, you know what I mean? Or it's like hard hitting, or it's this thing. And I feel like this book had everything kind of, and it was just, there were moments that was so funny. I loved it when Howl, like, I don't know, teased Sophie, and then Sophie like basically told him to shut up. I was like, these are my people. Like this is my couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so realistic to how relationships really are. Like it was cool to see them like growing their relationship into something that resembled like real relationships, you know?
Yes. Oh my God. Also, we have to talk about this. The bathroom drama scene.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
We love him for it. Do we not? Oh my God. I love it.
Yeah, one thing that Lexi and I were talking about when we watched the movie is how much that we love Howl's like eccentric nature. He's very like we compared him to David Bowie and people like that, because he like cares about what he's wearing, and he's just like one of those guys that you just like has a little bit of an effeminate to them, but in the best way possible.
In a hot way. And you know who else he reminds me of is Brendan Urie in Harry Styles. Like all of my crushes, that's Howl. So, but actually, that brings us to a really good point. So, did you find any themes in this book, Kaylin? And it's okay if you didn't. It's okay if no one like. I don't have a life. Okay, so I really thought a lot about this book, and so did you find any themes that you liked?
I mean, like I said, the one with Sophie like growing, I think that was a big theme, like growing into herself.
Yes, it was.
And then I think like I don't know if it was a theme, but like being yourself, no matter who yourself is, kind of was something that I got out of it a lot.
Oh my
God. About you?
I've never loved you more. Okay, that was my theme.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're like literally on the same page because I really feel, and I didn't realize this until I was done watching the movie. I watched it twice. And then I watched
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And then I also read the whole thing. So after all that, I looked at this and I was like, oh my God, do you know what the theme is? It is image and then perceptions of the world and like how people see you versus who you are. Because
Totally.
think about, okay, we have so much to tackle. First of all, Sophie is an old woman, but she's really not an old woman. So like the world sees her one way, but she sees herself a totally different way. Mm-hmm. But what's funny is she thinks that no one gets her, and secretly her family knows it's really her. And Howl really knows it's her, and they all love her. Mm-hmm. I thought that was
that's why I love her so much, is I think everyone can relate to that feeling of being like, oh, I feel so alone and like no one understands me, but like like all the time I get proven wrong. Like I've gotten proven wrong by Lexi so many times. Like I'm like, oh, you really do know me.
Yes, girl. Yes. And okay, so listen, not to beat a dead horse, but there's so many things that this does too that like echo that. Howl, for example, he dyed the dramatic scene where he dyes his hair. He's trying to charm people because he doesn't have a heart. And it's like one of these really brilliant things that he thinks to make people fall in love with him, he has to put on all of this like almost not makeup, but like make himself up into something that he's definitely almost not. And he sees it as a game, but I think it's because he's afraid of like having his heart, like he doesn't have his heart, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there's just so much symbolism in that. And I was like, oh my God, like, Hal, no, I see you. You don't need to die. And actually, so at the very end of the movie, he doesn't have blonde hair. He has his regular hair. And and it's like saying, see how like you found your heart and you found your little soulmate, and you don't have to like pretend to be something you're not with her.
It's so true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so cute. I love that so much.
Yeah, I really loved it too.
That's a good point, because I didn't see that. Like, I didn't think about that part of it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Oh, and then also, not to keep doing this, but did you also notice that like a lot of the magical devices also were about like hiding basically like who you are or what it really is. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, when they went out, do you remember that thing where Michael would put it on and he would put on a cloak and he would turn into like a man with a red beard? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was one where like you were hiding who you really were by dressing up as someone else. And then also Howl's Moving Castle it's like people think it's one thing, but it's totally like 4 different things. I don't know. And but even when Sophie like goes into the castle, she's like, where is the castle? And there is no castle. Like, this is it, girl.
Yeah, it's just like 4 rooms.
Yeah,
I loved that part too. Like hearing, because I don't necessarily remember them talking about it too much in the movie, but I loved that part of the book too. How it was like, it was his home and it's just 4 rooms. And Sophie was like, oh, I'm so glad it's not a huge castle because I don't have to clean all of the castle.
I totally agree. Oh. Okay, let me see. What did you think about the twist? Like, did you guess that she was going to be a witch? Because I didn't.
It like hinted at it. Yeah. At some points. Like in the beginning of the book, especially, they talk about how her sisters went and found, like, they were able to switch places or whatever. And she's like, I bet I could do that, or something like that. Something along the lines of her being a witch. So it hinted at it, I think. So to me, it wasn't like a, oh my gosh moment, but it was a surprise because I just thought she was going to be, normal. What about you?
No, I had no idea. And it's what I think she did really well, like the author, Diana. What she did, well, we're on a first name basis now.
Me and Diana.
Me and Diana. I think she did really well is she put really interesting clues throughout the entire thing. Mm-hmm. Because Sophie would like mutter to the hats. And I just thought that was like, I do that all the time when I'm like doing something I don't want to do. I'm like, like cursing.
Well, I mean, Lexi, we are witches. Duh.
Yeah, there you go. But like she would say that, and I just thought she was being herself, but really she was like speaking things to life. And that's also how she did it with the turnip head, which is never explained in the movie, but but it is totally explained in the book. I feel like there were so many things in the movie that weren't explained, and I really did not realize that.
Yeah, and that's a big one. Like that's a big part of it.
Let me see here. Yeah, it is. Okay, so Calcifer, Halen, please tell me if I'm wrong. Isn't he a falling star?
In the movie he is.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Calcifer is a falling star, which is why
he is too.
Yeah, which is why Howl says to Sophie and Michael, like, don't catch a falling star. He makes a deal with Calcifer where Calcifer doesn't want to die. You know the scene where like Michael and Sophie were running and the stars, this is a weird scene, but the stars were like, please, I want to die. And I was like, okay. Calcifer didn't want to die. And so Howl made a contract not to become more powerful, but because he wanted to help him. So to give the star life, he had to give him his heart. So I think Calcifer has Howl's heart, but he isn't Howl's heart. But you guys, if I'm wrong, tell me.
That's kind of how I took it too. Like it wasn't that he was his actual heart.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. But again, that's one of those things where it's a really complex and
oh my gosh, yeah. Like that's a complex idea in general. Yeah. Like it really is.
For sure. I completely agree. It is super, super complex. But I don't know, I really liked it. Okay, let me see here. Were there any parts to you that were confusing? Because like there is a couple.
I mean, I think like the little details like that, like these little intricate details where the movie would start to blend with it a little bit, I would be like, wait, that's where I would get kind of like a little bit jumbled.
Yeah.
So yeah, just the little details, but not anything really major.
Yeah, and I think that's because she did such a good job like creating such an intricate world that you almost like I had to reread certain things. Like I'd rewind the audiobook because one thing that was really confusing was when the Witch of the Waste and Howl were having a big battle. Because I didn't know what was happening. Like I thought he was hiding in a cloud, but then was he? And then all of a sudden he was a cat. It was, so that part I thought was kind of hard to, I don't know, follow a little bit.
It's definitely like there's certain parts that you would probably want to go back and re-listen to, especially like both of us listened to it on audiobook, which by the way, both of us thought it was excellent. The voices were really well done. But I think when you're listening to it on audiobook, sometimes you have to like go back and be like, wait a minute, I just missed a whole part. I need to go back.
Yeah.
So I think that also makes it a little tougher because usually I try to read along and that helps me to understand a lot better, but this time I didn't. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Let me see here. Oh, and then I wrote down a page. Let me go there. It's a 308. I think I know what this is. This was like the illusions part. Yeah. Well, that was part of the thing was just, so part of the fight apparently was that they were making things illusions. And I was really lost because at some point I thought Michael was a horse. And then I was like, I must have read that wrong. And then, it says illusions, Michael's voice said out of the horse. And I was like, what is happening? Do you know what that was about? Yeah. No. I won't put it up there, but it says on page 308. So Sophie goes, what's going on? And she squawked it. So I'm assuming that it's like, maybe she's an animal too. And then illusions, Michael's voice said out of the horse, some of them. They're both trying to fool one another with chasing the wrong one. And I was just confused. I really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think if I was more like critical, like analytical of it, I would probably give it more of a 4-star too. But the only reason for me it's a 5-star is just because of the feeling it gave. But there were parts where you were like, what?
Yeah. And I think too, like, like we've talked about, the themes of it and those types of things that like can really resonate with you and your soul, I think that always helps me to push it up too.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Chelsea is
oh, see, oh my gosh.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
Wait, so then why did Sophie squawk that?
Maybe she's just because she's an old.
Oh, maybe she was just like what's going on?
Please talk to me like that from now on. Just. Yeah, I agree. I think you did have to really pay a lot of attention to that as well. That was really good. Oh, here we go. I'm so glad you guys addressed the complexity of the book. Yeah, I think it was complicated as well. And it's interesting because I think that the complications are what make it interesting for a book discussion and also a classic for middle grade, because it does so many things that other books don't do, but for a young age category. And it's just, it's one of those things where you really have to pay attention, huh?
Yep. Yeah. That's one of the reasons that I love The Girl Who Drank the Moon so much too, is because some of the issues in there are so complex and like can relate to an adult. Yeah. So it's fun to read middle grades that can do that. And this was definitely one of those too. I actually got a similar feeling to this book that I did from The Girl Who Drank the Moon.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Because the themes in that one, well, I won't spoil it, but the themes had some similar themes actually about like self-perception, or not self-perception. I don't know what the word is. Anyways, yeah. Yes, I agree. Also, you guys, super quick, I'm really excited. I'm going to tell them about this because I'm never going to actually get to do it. If Kaylin at any point freezes, like if her screen freezes, I'm gonna play Titanic's "My Heart Will Go On" and I'm gonna call out Jack. Can we just practice that super quick?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? And freeze. She's frozen. Wait, it's not playing. There we go. Jack, come back. Okay. I really wanted to do that at least once, so now I can.
She did. She was talking about it a lot before we started.
Yeah, I'm not proud of that, but it's okay. Anyways, let's see here. Okay. Yes. The biggest difference was the villain in the two movies. So which one did you prefer? Like, what do you think? Which one did it better and why?
I think the book, like the movie was just not there for me as far as that goes. What do you think?
I think so because I know we've talked about it already, but the movie, I just didn't understand who the villain was. Like, I thought that the ultimate villain was war, which I appreciated. I thought that was a really cool message, especially for like a children's movie. I thought it was really interesting, but it didn't like make sense because the lady, it seemed like she was, okay, what is her name again? I hate that I have to get Mrs.
I don't know her name either.
Yeah. Okay. Can we call her Sally?
Yeah, Sally.
Okay. So Sally. Sorry for everyone who. Yeah, I know that's not professional.
Get annoyed.
Yeah. So Sally, which was Howl's teacher, she is kind of more of the big bad in the movie, but I just didn't get her role. I really didn't get it. I don't know.
And like you said, where she was just like, all of a sudden was like, okay, this is done. It's like, wait, why?
Yeah. I agree. Oh my gosh. That was a Elsa joke. Kaylin giggling. She may be Elsa. That was funny. Okay. Anyways. Sorry. I was really distracted. Yeah, we've got Frozen here. Okay. But yeah, no, Kaylin, I completely agree. I feel like we have really similar tastes in books.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I do too.
So I apologize to everyone if like there's not enough flavor here. I can pretend to hate a book at some point, but I really, I don't know, but I really agree. And I feel like the only thing though that I would say for the book was that it was really complicated with how the demon was, what's her face? Mrs. Angorian. Did you see that at all? No, I didn't. I knew she was bad because they said she was drop dead gorgeous, and I was like, oh, she is the villain. I don't know why, I just knew.
No, they do that. They do that.
Yeah, they do. But I just didn't get. Also, do you know how else I knew? She came in and she touched Howl's guitar, and I play the guitar, and
you don't do that.
You don't like pick up somebody else's instrument. And then she also tried to leave with the guitar, and I was like, oh my gosh, the gall on this lady. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
If someone
I definitely related to that too, because like I used to play piano, and if anyone would try to play my piano, I would be like, that's mine.
You play the piano? Do you really?
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't in years, but yeah, I used to play like big time when I was in high school and stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's so. Can you play like? I'm sorry that this is where my mind goes. Can you play Bella's Lullaby?
Yeah, the two. So I know like all the classics like Moonlight Sonata, and I learned Clair de Lune because of Twilight, you better believe. But when I found out like that you could get sheet music that was from movies, I got Harry Potter and I got Twilight. Those were the two.
Oh my gosh, have you seen? Sorry to do this, but have you seen that TikTok where they're playing like the Twilight music and the guy is doing the dancing?
Like, yeah. Yeah.
Ali Corvair, she said that she has totally memorized that. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I heard that. She was telling both of us that. I want to learn that too.
I really want to do that. That has nothing to do with this. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah. That's so funny. I'm sad that I've never heard you play now.
I mean, it's been a long time. I don't have a piano, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Not in here, not in my house, but when I was younger, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Like really hitting all my points. And how about you guys in the chat? Any questions?
Yeah.
I like this one. I knew she was going to be bad when she went to the castle. Yeah. Oh my God, that's a good point. Hold on.
Wait, let me read this. Oh, yeah.
How did I miss that?
Like, how did she do that? I totally missed that too.
Because she like is the demon, but like with the witch's heart, and so she has like the powers or whatever.
She can go through the invisible wall.
I cannot believe that I missed that. I combed through this like so well. That's such a good point.
That's a really good point. I didn't notice that either.
Was really good. Also, I like this one. Very confused person. I agree.
Just a little odd.
Oh my gosh, that's really funny. Cool. Well, I guess if that's it, super quick. Do you guys have any suggestions for books in the future? Because Kayla and I are trying to make like a list for our fall selection right now, and we want to make it as interactive as possible. So we really want you guys to like feel like you could. Oh wait, we have a question. This is good.
Oh,
Brendan Urie as Howl.
Yeah, I would say that too. Or the other guy. Oh my gosh, who was the one you just mentioned?
Harry Styles.
Yeah, Harry Styles. I think he would be good too.
Yeah, he'd be really good.
I think Brendan Urie, just because he's a little bit older, so I can crush on him a little better.
Yeah, and also, could you picture him with like dyed blonde hair? That would kind of be. I don't know.
That would be a thing.
Yeah, that would be a thing.
So someone there would have to be an old lady.
Yeah.
I mean, I would always vote for Meryl Streep because I love her.
Could you picture her as Sophie? My mind would be blown.
Oh my gosh. With her little walking stick.
Oh my gosh. She's like my favorite actress, actually.
That's why we're best friends. She's one of mine too.
What? Okay. Just because I love The Devil Wears Prada, can we make Anne Hathaway Sophie then?
That would be so cute. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think that'd be. Oh, or you know who else would be a good Sophie? Although she's not a brunette, but she could dye her hair. Who was that one actress who played off of Mamma Mia 2?
Yeah. Mamma Mia 2. You're
Yeah.
not thinking of Amanda Seyfried, are you?
No, but I love her. I love her. She's like my favorite person. This blonde girl, let me see. I don't know what her name is. I don't know. She played in Mamma Mia too. She was like the younger version of Meryl Streep there, and she'd actually be a pretty good Sophie.
Oh, okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
She also played Cinderella in the live action.
Yeah. Oh, she's so pretty.
Yeah,
she's brunette in real life. She was just blonde in that. She's actually brunette in real life.
I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Lily James.
Yeah, that's her.
Okay.
She would be good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're getting so many really, really good let's see, recommendations. So Small Spaces. I haven't read this one yet. I read the sequel, which is fine. I read the sequel, and the sequel was like unbelievably terrifying to me.
I read the sequel, but not Small Spaces.
Yeah, because I was doing it for that Ghost Stories vlog.
Yeah.
I messaged. Oh my gosh, who did I message? I follow her on everything, but now of course I've totally forgotten. But I messaged somebody who had read it, and she said that it was fine to read them out of order, and it spoiled like one thing, but it wasn't a big deal to me. So I'm glad that I read it for that vlog, because that book was so good. But that would be a really good pick, Small Spaces.
Yeah, I saw one, the Graveyard book, because you love the Graveyard book, and I've been wanting to read that one.
Yes, here it is for you. I completely agree. You haven't read it yet, Kaylin?
No, I want to though.
I think you'd like that.
Isn't that like one of your favorite books of all time?
Yeah, it is. Okay, because the audio in it is impeccable. Like the book itself is really, really good, but the audio, they like hired an orchestra, so there was like music. So cool. Yeah, and they had a full cast. So there was like, I don't know, 7 different people. There were sound effects when they like did spooky things. There were like chains going. It was an experience.
That sounds awesome. I love those types of audiobooks that make it almost feel like a movie.
Yeah. Ooh, but this would be a good one. Yeah. Have you read this one yet, Kaylin?
Yeah. When I was in middle school, I did. It was so creepy, but I haven't read it since then.
Were you? Okay, so I only read it as an adult. When you read it as a kid, were you scared?
Oh my gosh. It was like the creepiest book I had ever read. It was so creepy.
It is creepy. The movie, though, remember when we saw it together and I was really scared? I was freaking the heck out.
Yeah, because that was the first time you'd seen it.
Yeah, it was. It was really, ooh, okay, this would be a good pick. And here's why. I want to see the movie with Jack Black. Have you seen the trailer?
I've seen it.
Is it a good movie?
Yeah. Plus, I love Jack Black so much.
Me too. He's my favorite film that he's in is that one with like all of the kids and he's like a musician.
Yeah, Camp Rock. Or is that what it's called? School of Rock.
School of Rock.
Camp Rock. Do you remember? Do you know what Camp Rock is?
Yeah, it's the one where Demi Lovato's like.
And she's like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Ooh, I like this one too.
I like that one too. I've never read Anne of Green Gables either.
Me either, and I really want to watch the Netflix series, so that would be fun to do.
That would be really fun.
I'm pretty sure you can do Netflix watch parties, like watch along parties too, so we could watch that one too. Okay, let me see. Ooh, okay. Let me see. Furthermore.
Oh yeah. We've thought about this one.
Yeah, Kaylin and we've actually been going back and forth about adding this one because we both really, really want to read it as well. And it's gotten so many starred reviews. So, like, so many people think it's really good and super important, too. Ooh. This is a new one. But I've
never heard of that.
No, yeah, I've heard. Okay, Rebecca, please, like, correct me if I'm wrong. But I think I know this one because isn't this the one, it's like a ghost story or, like, paranormal? Is that right? Which would be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This person says that the Netflix series was so good.
I've heard of this too.
I really, really, really want to see it. What's this one? Yeah, I agree with this one. Coraline just.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. It is a ghost story. Have you heard of the book Thieves of Weirdwood yet? Okay, I wish I had brought it up here, but I did not do that. But that one is about, I think, like two best friends, and it looks so cool. Like the cover looks really awesome. But they are thieves, and they are actually robbing people's houses because one of their brothers like is in the hospital and they need to like raise the money. So it's really cute. But they try to rob this mysterious abandoned mansion, and they discover that it's the secret headquarters of a magical society, and the magical society, is in charge of like keeping other worlds at bay. So like we've got like other worlds and like portal worlds, and then a magic society, and then these two little boys who get involved. And it just, that one sounds really cool.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, I haven't.
We've been into magical societies lately. Like we've been talking about magical societies.
Yeah.
That would be a fun one.
We should start a magical society, can we?
I mean, technically, this is our magical society.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Upside Down Magic was so good too. It's a book series. I haven't heard of this. Have you heard of this, Kayla?
Mm-mm.
I'll have to look that up, Jessica. Oh, and then we've already got like some division. We've got Furthermore is so good, and then oops, wrong one. DNF Furthermore. So that would be fun because I don't know about you, but I actually don't ever get my feelings hurt when people don't like the books that I love. I just think it's like really interesting to like talk. Yeah.
Well, like we talked about, I think some books can hit people in different ways. Like you can get something out of a book that someone else doesn't. So, which makes it more interesting to talk about.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's fun. I especially love yours, Kaylin, like the ones that you do with Liv and Zoe, because you and Liv actually have pretty similar tastes.
Yeah.
I noticed that you usually like something. Liv is kind of in the middle. Liv, I'm sorry I'm talking about you. I know you're here. But she like leans more towards your rating. And then there's Zoe, who I love it. Zoe's always like, I didn't like it. And I'm like, girl, yes. Because I love the discussion so much.
Yeah. And see, like Zoe is more of a critical reader too. So yeah, it's just about like what you get out of books and how you take them in. If you take them in critically, or if you take them in as more of like how you can apply it to your own self, you know?
Yes, I agree. Let's see here. Have you heard of When You Reach Me? Chelsea, this is such a good recommendation. Okay, I read this. Have you read We Were Liars? That one's a YA actually, so it's not middle grade.
Mm-mm.
So We Were Liars, like, it's a really, really good like suspense YA one. And I was reading an interview by the author, E. Lockhart, and she said that she was actually really inspired by When You Reach Me. And so I bought that book. And that one is that would be great actually for a book club, because it is so complex and there are so many weird and cool themes in there. I really like that suggestion.
Yeah, that would be cool.
This one, yes.
I've been wanting to read this one so bad.
Yeah, if we do this one though, I think you would agree, Kaylin, we should probably ask me to be like a co-host.
Oh, totally. She's like the person that I immediately think of. I don't know if she's still in here, but
I don't know either, but she would be such a good co-host for this because she really loves this book series. Yeah. There we go.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, so we would only want to do it with you. But yeah, that would be really, really fun. Oh my gosh, wait, hold on. This is ending? I'm so sad. This was so fun. This was so much fun. You guys, thank you for coming, by the way. I had the best time. I really did
too. I love talking about this book. It's definitely been like, I loved it so much. So by the way, we need to talk about the giveaway.
Oh yeah, we're giving away this copy.
Yes,
so
this one in the hand.
Let's see here. How about if after this stream you leave a comment on the video?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And it's open internationally, so it doesn't matter where you live. And we will send this copy to a person. We'll like pick the winner. We'll announce it on our Twitter, and then we'll also pin their comment. Okay. So if you want to enter, you can enter. You just leave a comment. Just say something. Say, you have beautiful eyes. No, don't say that. Do not say that. Say that. I don't know. Say your favorite middle grade. That's good. Or the beautiful eyes. Yeah. Anyways, do you feel sad now?
I know. I feel like we could keep talking for longer, but it would just be about middle grades that we love.
Yeah, it really would be. But thank you guys again.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
This was amazing. Oh, also, yes, I have heard Hello Universe. I've read it because of the good things, so that's a really good pick as well. But yeah, thank you guys. We love you so much.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be awkward, so I'm just going to end it. Bye.
Bye. Love you guys.
It's not ending.